Hey, you got the doc. Want to just have a quick little discussion or a little discussion here for a little bit. Um, wasn't really sure. I'm not trying to put the words into place, but um, just the things that are going on in the world. And, we gotta keep alert to that. You don't have to get crazy or go ballistic to sense what's going on. So, I was talking to some people this past week. One gentleman in particular, and I asked him a specific question, and he was pretty much the only one who could really answer this question because he deals with the law enforcement side of things. And I asked him, I says, if the STHF really occurs, especially around here in southeast Michigan in the Detroit area, I said, what happens to the people in prison that are in prison in Detroit, prison up in like Jackson and other areas in the state of Michigan? I said, what happens to these guys? I said, now, not all of them are bad guys. They're there because of stupidity, but there's some bad guys in there. And he said, well, it's not on the books. It's not really a public plan, but he said they have a plan in place that if it come to the point to where it was total shutdown and these guys were going to escape, they already have a plan in place, um, and they have the names of people, and they will be taken and bluntly, they'll have a bullet put in their head. And I said, really? He said, yeah, they have that in place. So apparently, and I said, but so is this designated when the people are brought to the facility? He said, well, it depends on the block, depends on where they're put. Because you have some people that are just, it's through theft or whatever. But he said, you don't want to have some of these people out on the streets if there was a break in the prison system. Because he said that, and I brought it up. Um, I said, a lot of the people who do security for the prisons live around there. He said, yeah. He said, and they would take it personally out on those guards and their families if they were to get out. He said, so it's pre-designated already. And then I asked him a question. I said, what about, what would happen to the prison afterwards? He said, well, it would be cleaned up. And he said, that's a fresh facility to be used for those that are actually causing problems during the SHTF. He said it would probably be used for those who are inciting or causing the issues, those who supposedly have become in charge of things. He said the National Guard would take over the prison system and they would put people in there as they see fit. I said, really? He said, most likely that's the way it would come into play. The prison systems will be taken over by the National Guard or by the state police, whichever. They would work in conjunction, and they would use the prisons for people that are inciting or in control of causing the issues or the problems. I said, okay. So now I understand. So I wanted to put that to you tonight to let you know that, there's more than meets the eye. And if you don't follow stuff up on like YouTube or ask questions, um, it's more than just putting a can of beans away. It's your community and what's going to expect in the area where you're at, okay, and what to expect. Like I said, I'm in a suburb of Detroit, so I need to kind of get to know all that's going to go on if, we do run into a major situation. I know what's going to happen to the people who's going to leave that area. They're going to head right through here, but I also now know that, what also can happen with the police stations, excuse me, and the prison systems. You just need some knowledge. You need to know all this stuff, just so you know for yourself. And and then you have this Ebola. I brought this up before, and I want to bring it up again. Okay, now one of the biggest things governments use to direct people or to flow the people in the direction they want them to go is through fear. Fear is one of the biggest uses for being able for somebody to get their way, is to create a fear, and it breaks down the security of the people or the confidence of the people. So when you're dealing with fear, fear can really cause people to make irrational decisions. Now, I'm not sure about this Ebola, if it's being used as a fear tactic or what, but it's enough to cause people to stop and consider what to do. Now, I just want to give you a quick tip with Ebola, because it talks about it can be spread when you're face to face with people or in areas. That's why I try not to fly, but I'm not telling anybody here not to fly. Do what you got to do, get where you got to go. But if you can avoid things, avoid them. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's late in the evening. It's just one of them evenings. But you can avoid them. Avoid them. Now, there's a lot of grocery stores. Some are open, 24 hours. And sometimes the best way to avoid big crowds is to kind of wait till the off hours and then go do your grocery shopping. That limits the amount of people you're around or come in contact with. Another is some of the smaller grocery stores. I don't know why I'm eating almost. Oh, I hate that. But when you're in the smaller grocery stores, they actually have programs, but most people don't know about it. You got to call up or go to the customer service desk and talk to them. That you can call up the grocery store, give them a list of what all you want to pick up, and they'll have it ready for you when you get there, and you just pay for it and then take it and you're on your way. So you don't have to shop. There are a lot of smaller grocery stores that'll do that, no problem. And some of the big ones. But, unless you ask, you don't know that service is available, because there are a lot of senior citizens or those who will actually use that. It's a program not just set for senior citizens, but it's used a lot by senior citizens who have limited ability or maybe time to do their shopping due to transportation issues or what have you. So it's a thought, something to look into. Oh my God, man. I tell you, it's been one of those days. You know what I'm saying? Just cold, wet, dreary day. Gets to me every time. So, I just want to bring that up to you. Keep an eye out or keep an ear out as to what's going on in your neighborhood. And ask questions. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. Okay? And always remember, okay, most people who join the military, who join today, okay, because it's volunteer, they do it with a good heart, wanting to do right and wanting to do what's best. They do it going in hoping to make a difference and hoping to make people safe. Well, the officers do the same thing when they become a police officer. They want to go in and they want to help protect people and take care of people and take care of the bad guys, protect the good guys. So don't look at all cops as problems. The majority of them have just as good a heart as anybody else. There's always a few bad eggs. Okay, so I'm just saying is cut them some slack. You'll know the good ones. See, if you're living in your community, it wouldn't hurt to get to know the police officers also. A lot of people don't do that. There's ways to get to know the police officers in your community, um, and you have to figure out how to do that through different functions or activities or what have you. But get involved. You get yourself out there, then other people get to know you too. Okay. So, anyways, I just want to bring this up to you tonight. I'll have a lot more videos and other stuff to do, but I want to kind of clear the air of some thoughts with this and just give you something to think about during this little quiet time that we have, because I hope it opens up a new area of thoughts for you when you're thinking about your prepping and thinking about everything else. Also realize that it's not just about saving back a can. It's about having knowledge of what goes on around you and what can go on around you. That all comes into play also. All right? Cool. Take it easy. Talk to you later.